Content warning, rape or mention of rape, sexual harassment, suicide or suicidal thoughts, or mention of suicide, depression, panic or anxiety attack, and more. You have been warned. If you're uncomfortable with this, please stop reading or listening. You can choose other stories for a while. There are other great or extremely great writers out there. Disclaimer: I do not own the haiku characters that are to be used in this story. Photos or covers were picked from Google. Credits to the owner.
Our first hour of studying was completely awkward and silent. Just constant rustling of paper and the sound of the pen while writing. Random questions asked regarding coverage of the exam for a certain subject. Okay, let us take a break. I and Suki will get some snacks, Tadashi said. Okay, Shōyō responded as he looked at Kei with a smile. Open the fridge. Copy that, we will be back, Kei said as he kissed Shōyō's temple. Tadashi and Kei left the room. I just resume answering some worksheets. Even though I want to ask him, I'm too nervous to start a conversation. You do it wrong, Shōyō said. I was surprised when he talked. As I suddenly looked at him, which turned out as if I'm angry. He was startled by my response and said, he points at the worksheet shyly, you doing it wrong. I look to where he's pointing and realize, sorry, but can you help me out? He took the worksheet and positioned it in between us and took a pencil. This how you do it. After a couple of minutes, he was done teaching me. Nice, I get it, thanks, I said. He smiled slightly and said, you're welcome, and resumed with his worksheet. I took some glances at him. Composing myself, I was just quite curious about him and why he didn't join the volleyball club since we were at the same school. So, we're both ended at Karasuno. I started. He stopped his writing and replied, yeah, I guess. Which section are you in? I asked. I think it's section 3. He said, we're in the same section. How come I didn't see you? I asked. He exhales as if I asked something that makes him uncomfortable. I'm in a homeschooled program. Oh, that's why. Say, even if you're in a homeschooled program, you still need to be in a club, right? I asked again. He slightly glanced at me and said, I'm not sure of it. As we continued our conversation, I asked again, this time to feed my curiosity, why didn't you join the volleyball club? How will you defeat me if you're slacking off, dumbass? When I look at him, fear, sorrow, defeated, I'm not sure what kind of expression he's showing right now. But even though he compressed those emotions, I just knew I'd crossed the line. Bathroom. He stutters and immediately stands up and walks out of the study hall. I never thought I would meet Tobio this early. Damn you, Tsukishima, I internally curse my mate in my mind. I was supposed to be avoiding him. I can't face him yet. But I guess my boyfriend has a different plan. He even asks Eleanor to check Tobio if he's safe for me. Well, I guess I just need to make sure our interaction was at the bare minimum. I'll just need to prevent having a direct conversation. That's all. When Tadashi says we will have a break and they will take some snacks, I become anxious. I was left with Kageyama. Alone. Just to stop myself from overthinking, I just continue doing my worksheet. He's been quiet. I guess he's afraid to ask a question. Thank goodness. As I thought, I take a few glances at what he's doing. And I regretted it. Is he an idiot or something? I frustratingly thought as I stared down at his worksheet. You do it wrong, I said. He suddenly looked at me and said, I was startled by his sudden voice. It's sharp and intimidating. As I shyly point at the worksheet. You doing it wrong. He looked at his paper and said, sorry, but can you help me out? I took his worksheet and positioned it in between and took a pencil as I started explaining, this how you do it. I started to teach him about the worksheet he's working on. Nice, I get it, thanks, he said. I smiled slightly and said, you're welcome. I resumed doing my worksheet. I can feel that he eases up a little. I can feel his staring at me but not the intimidating stare. But I am kinda nervous. Please don't ask anything. As I thought, he started to talk again. So, we're both ended at Karasuno, he said. I stop what I'm doing and reply, yeah, I guess. Which section are you in? He asked. I think it's section 3. I replied, uncertain. We're in the same section. How come I didn't see you? He asked, surprised. And here it goes. I exhaled as I replied, I'm in a homeschooled program. Oh, that's why. Say, even if you're in a homeschooled program, you still need to be in a club, right? He continues. I'm starting to hate where this conversation is going. I reluctantly answered him. Anxiety starts to eat me. I slightly looked at him and said, I'm not sure of it. Why didn't you join the volleyball club? How will you defeat me if you're slacking off, dumbass? He asked again, maybe out of curiosity. At that moment, time stops. Volleyball. Why I didn't join? Why did I stop? I asked myself. And those memories I tried to forget, in a mere second flashback to me. A useless Omega like you should not be on the court playing a sport. You merely get a point during that match. You just show how useless you are. I can jump my ass. Instead, you can jump on me. Bathroom. I said, stuttering. I instantly stood from my seat and sprinted out of the room towards the bathroom. You know you're quite pretty, Omega. And those filthy hands start to roam around my body. As I was lying on the cold gym floor, they started to touch me in all places, as I looked out at the door where I saw my so-called friends. Stop, I whispered while sobbing. Shōyō, stop, you're hurting yourself, Eleanor said in my mind. I was startled when I heard Eleanor's voice. No, leave me alone, as I thought to myself. I shut down our connection. I felt it again, those hunted hands touching me. I'm so dirty, even his fated pair will hate him for not being pure. He let us have his body. Ha ha ha, so dirty. I didn't know I was hyperventilating as I absent-mindedly started to scratch my bond mark. He hates me. I and Tadashi left the study hall and walked towards the kitchen to get some refreshments and snacks. I had an uneasy feeling leaving Shōyō alone with the king. Do you think it's a good idea to leave them? I asked. Tadashi was putting the snacks on the tray as he replied, I hope so. I think this is the only way we can make Shō love volleyball again. But, what if it will be the other way around? I asked. You're overthinking it again. It will be fine, he said. What if it's not, Yamaguchi? You haven't seen him. At that moment, I felt the distress in our bond mark and a sharp pain through it. Ouch, as I touched my nape where our bond mark was placed. Suki, Tadashi exclaimed. I tensed up and said, I need to see Shō. I started to walk out of the kitchen and almost started to run. Suki, wait, he said as he followed me. I knew it was a bad idea. I knew it since the start, but why did I let it happen? I want Shōyō to be enthusiastic about playing volleyball again. But I'm sure it's not yet time to face it. So why did I let it happen? As I reached the study hall, I immediately opened the door, making a loud bang startling Kageyama. Where is he? I asked as I growled. He nervously answered, he says he's going to the bathroom. Shit, what did you do this time, King? I said angrily. I didn't wait for Kageyama to answer as I sprinted toward the bathroom. Suki opens the door of the study hall, making a loud bang. Where is he? He asked, growling. Tobio answered nervously, he says he's going to the bathroom. Shit, what did you do this time, King? Suki said angrily. Suki didn't wait to answer and sprinted towards the nearest bathroom. Great, I messed up. As I thought, I entered the study hall and saw the worried face of Kageyama. I calmly asked, what did you do or ask? I just asked why he didn't join the volleyball club. He answered. I pinched the bridge of my nose as I said, as far as I can remember, we made a certain list of do's and don'ts. So why did you ask a trivial question? I raised my voice because of frustration. How come it's trivial? We are talking about Hinata Shōyō here. The orange hair boy I was looking to. The boy who jumps high shows in his play how he loves the sport. How he is so passionate about it. How come it's a trivial question, Tadashi? He said. You don't fucking understand. I shouted. Then make me understand. Every one of you is too overprotective of him. It's like he was made of glass and can be easily broken. He's not like that as far as I can remember. He said. I glared at him and said, I'm not in the position to tell you anything. And you're not in any position to know everything. You just met him in a single match, but that doesn't mean you just can easily know him in a single glance, Kageyama Tobio. Gosh, I said as I holds my temple, this is a fucked up idea of mine. I should have listened to Kei. I said, what do you mean it's your idea? Tobio asked. It's my idea to let you meet Shōyō. It was me who planned it. I thought it might help him to overcome his fears. But I guess, I just make it worst. I should have known that you're quite a curious one. Gosh, I cover my face with my hands. Stay here. I'll check on them. As I reach the bathroom, I can hear a muffled sob on the other side. Stop. Please let me go, Shōyō whispered. I knocked on the door to catch his attention. Babe, can you please open the door? I put my ear to the door as I listen intently to the sound. I can hear shuffling away from the door. And some muffled short breaths. He moves away from the door. I thought, babe, can I enter? I don't want you to be alone there, please. I said. No answer. I slowly opened the door and took a peek. I saw him curled in one of the sides of the bathroom, hyperventilating. I entered slowly and approached him. I whispered, Shō, it's me, Kei. Everything is fine. No one will hurt you. I squat in front of him, tapping the floor slightly to catch his attention. I see a trickle of blood in his neck. Shō, what happened? I asked as I tried to touch him. He sobs and hysterically said, no. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Defeated, I said, Shō. It's me, your alpha. No, dirty, he said as he gasped for air. Kei, stop, Asher demanded. Why? What can I do? This is worst, Asher. I said, it is. He shut down his connection with Eleanor. Asher said. What? I asked, worried. Don't worry, Elle is fine. She's just devastated that she can't prevent it. Tadashi is approaching. Just wait for him, for now. He says. Kei, Tadashi said. I looked at him. He sees Shōyō's state and asks, may I? I stand up and make some space for Tadashi. He removes his scent patch and says, Shōshō. It's me. Shōyō flinches at the smell of pheromone but instantly relaxes after recognizing it. You need to breathe slowly, Shō. Take a deep breath, then on a count of 5, you'll release it slowly. Can you do that? Tadashi said, and Shōyō nods. While Tadashi is doing some breathing exercises, I head to the medicine kit and take some bandage and antiseptic for Shō's nape. Kokafi, I heard Shōyō ask as he recovered from his panic attack. There. Hi, Shō. Tadashi smiled. I'm sorry, Shōyō said. No, it's fine. Don't worry, I'll handle it, Tadashi said, comforting him. Shōyō looked at me and said, Kei. I sat beside him and said, hey, babe. Are you feeling well? Shō tries to sit on my lap, but since the panic attack takes a toll on him, his half-body just collapsed on my chest. I'm sorry, Kei. I'm sorry. He sobbed. I massaged his head and said, it's okay. You're okay. You're safe. I kissed his forehead and said, hey, baby. Let me clean your scent gland, okay? He tightened his hug and said, tell Tobio, I'm sorry. I take the antiseptic and start cleaning Shōyō's nape. After I finished cleaning and covering his nape, I noticed he had already fallen asleep. I'll take him to his room. We will wait for you, Tadashi said. I nod and stand up, carrying Shōyō. After I put Shōyō to his bed, I walk back to the study hall. I stared at Kageyama while he remained silent. Tadashi starts to talk, but I cut him out. I thought I make it clear you supposedly do not ask some stupid question. I'm sorry, Kageyama said. You should say that to him, or rather, you just keep your mouth shut, I said as I breathed deeply. He was diagnosed with PTSD. I won't go on with the details. But please, be sensitive enough. I know you're an idiot, but clearly, we made a simple deal 2 days ago, and I also reminded you yesterday. You can't ask any trivial questions. I continued. I never thought volleyball was a trivial one to him, Kageyama said. You are supposed to ask academic-related questions only. Tadashi clarified. You didn't specify, Kageyama said defensively. Gosh. Fine. You genius fucker. Just go home now and we'll talk about this tomorrow. I said. I'm sorry, he said as he bowed. As I reached my home, I went straight to my father's office since my parents were not around yet. I searched through the files he has. I know, I've seen it here before, letter hi, here. I thought as I searched on the file drawers. The folder is named Hinata Shōyō. I open the folder and read the file. I was about to read the other details when the door was open. What are you doing? My dad said. He snatched the file that I'm holding and at it. Why are you looking at this file? I just want to know what happened to him, I said. It is not your business, kiddo. My father said as he returned the file to the drawer. He is in my class. Under homeschooled program. We're having our exams in a few days. I've seen everyone around him frantic and overprotective of him. I want to help, I said. Whatever you say, I can't share it with you. He said. Why not, Tobio? It's the patient's privacy. I don't want to lose my job, and we are talking about the Hinata here. My father explained. I sighed. I'm sorry, father. It's just that, I don't know, I want to help him. He's a great player. He got the potential. I don't want him to waste it. You'll understand soon enough. But right now, you can support him or them by any means. He said. Okay, I replied. I went to my room and prepared to go to bed. I was just laying there. I wasn't able to sleep. Yamaguchi is right. I am quite a curious one. I thought as I took my phone and dialed Tsukishima's number. You do know it's the middle of the night, King. He whispered. I'm sorry to bother you, but I just want to ask something, I said. What? I guess you better get out first there. The way you whisper, you're with Shōyō. I said. Tisk. I hear shuffling as Tsukishima moves. He cleared his throat and started to talk in his normal tone. Now, what is it? What causes the trauma? I asked. You can't wait at least later or something. He said. I can't. I want to know now. So I can at least help or something. So I can fully understand the situation. Only silence I received from the other end. I don't know. I just also want to protect him and help him overcome his fear or something. As I continued, he doesn't need another pair of eyes to pity him. He said. I'm not pitying him, I exclaimed. You're not sure about that? Just, please, Tsukishima. I pleaded. Why are you so desperate to know, Kageyama? You've just met him in a match then now. What is it that makes you so attached to him? And don't forget, I'm his boyfriend and mate. Tsukishima said. Gosh, I'm not looking at him like that. I don't know, at that moment when we play with each other, when I see how he plays, even though it is clumsy and everything. I felt alive again, I replied. He didn't say anything for a moment. I sighed. Okay, fine. If he was bullied during middle school, he said in a calmer tone. Bullied, that's when they've returned from that match. He was, he said, pausing as if he's contemplating if he had to say it or not. He was what? I asked. I'm about to lose my patience. Why do I have a feeling that it's a grave one? He was raped in the gym, Tsukishima said. And everything stops.
To be continued. If you like this video, consider subscribing by clicking the subscribe button. Bye!